Welcome back. It's 8:44. This morning we're talking about keeping the Blazers in Portland. That is not only the wish that all fans have, but it's the mission behind the new group Rip City Forever, as the team is up for sale. Concerns the Blazers could leave Portland also ramping up because the Moda Center is overdue for an upgrade.
Yeah, so the group created an online petition and sent an open letter to Oregon Governor Tina Kotek and Portland Mayor Keith Wilson last week. In that letter, they say their goal is to spur action amongst leaders to make sure the team stays in Rip City forever. So that group is led by some heavy hitters in the Oregon basketball and business scene. That includes John Thricky here. He's been the CEO and leader for a number of iconic brands around the state. Dutch Bros, Stumptown Coffee, Adelsheim Vineyard. So man with quite the resume on the couch here. Appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us here.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, great to talk about this. Now, as a group, again, you touched on that in the open letter there by Rip City Forever, but why create this group? Why do you feel like it was needed? And is it really a sure thing that the Blazers actually could not stay in Portland? It's a reality that they could move.
Yeah, I think the reality they could move, I think that history would tell you that sports teams move all the time, whether it's the NBA or whether it's the NFL or whether it's Major League Baseball. I mean, you see teams move all the time. And so there's a precedent for that. And I think for us, with Marshall Glickman and Chris Dudley and myself and Aaron Hubert and Ryan Buchanan, it was really about making sure that we are prepared as a city and a state and a region to basically take what is probably our largest company that we have inside the city that has massive economic impact on this city and make sure that we don't take it for granted that a sale is just not just a transaction of a team that you watch. It's actually, we think this may be a once in a generation opportunity to think about how we do this for the decades to come and really make Portland the best city in America for the NBA to do business with.
Yeah, so for fans who maybe aren't following as closely what's happening off the court, you've got the team up for sale at the same time that there is this discussion about the Moda Center also needing some upgrades. Can you kind of give us a sense of what the current picture means, for the risk of taking this team elsewhere?
Yeah, I think that, the risk, there's always risk, right? There's risk in any deal, there's risk in any sale of anything. And I think that for us, again, it's about raising awareness to make sure that we take the risk off the table and we actually look at this more as an opportunity for the city. The Moda Center was thought of in the early 90s. I mean, you think about what entertainment looked like in the early 90s, you think about what it was. And the Moda Center at the time was one of the premier buildings in the country. In 1995 when it opened.
Sure.
30 years later, and I think a lot of people don't even realize it's 30 years old.
No, 1990 was still 10 years ago. I don't care what anyone says.
And I think that it's now, I think the prospects of entertainment, the prospects of sports, the prospects of not just the economics of an arena, but also the economics of maybe an entertainment center have changed quite a bit. And there's a lot of models, not only in the United States, but around the world, of cities who have really kind of doubled down on that opportunity. And when you think about it, there's 30 NBA teams in the country, which means there's only 30 cities that get to have a franchise like this. And so we need to look at it not just as a sports opportunity, but actually as a much bigger opportunity for the city, especially in the state that we're in right now. And we have this chance to kind of rebuild and bring it back, and this could be a great anchor to do that.
Yeah, and I want to dive into that piece of this too, but real quick, I do want to also just kind of get a feel for the reality of, if an owner does come in, buys or win, that owner comes in and buys the Blazers, how easy is it for that owner to talk about moving the team? Of course, in the Pacific Northwest, we are scarred by what happened to our neighbors up north in Seattle and the Sonics. How realistic is this, or how easy is this for somebody to come in and just say, yeah, I'm going to move the team?
I think easy is probably the wrong word for it. I think that these processes are complicated. These are big decisions where there's a lot of people involved. Because not only not only do we have the Portland Trailblazers, we're 1/30th of the NBA, which is a global franchise.
Sure.
And so there's a lot of people that have conversation around that. And I think as a sale process goes, this will probably happen over the next 6 to 9 to 12 months, depending on how the bidding process goes. It's nothing that happens, like somebody can't just say overnight they're going to do it. But I think that if we're not prepared, and we're not prepared as a city to basically welcome new ownership to town, then we could make it difficult for them. And these are big business people that look for business opportunities. And if we can't provide that for them, there certainly is a chance that they could look elsewhere.
Have you had any conversations about how involved Rip City Forever, the group, will be in the ownership discussion? Will you guys be in the room at all?
Well, I think that remains to be seen. I think that our job is to really put a group of people together that have expertise in this area, to basically offer up our assistance to the state, to the city, and even to new ownership groups if they're looking to really understand what's going on in Portland, understand the opportunity, understand what's out there. And we've put a team together that can basically help anybody to make that happen.
What does some of that assistance look like from the financial sense? And when you talk about mitigating risk for a new owner, do you think we need to see more right now from the city, from the state, coming forward and saying this is what we're willing to put towards updates at the Moda Center, or this is what we're coming to the table with because we want to make this a sure thing that the Blazers stay here?
I do. I think that we need to take this very seriously. I think that this is. I've used this analogy. If this was a big company that was leaving downtown Portland or maybe moving out of state, we would probably be doing everything we could in Portland to make sure that company didn't leave. Or if we were attracting a new company to town, we would be putting everything together to make that happen. And so I think that for us, this is about preparing for something probably in a way that we've never prepared for it. When you think about sports and you think about the viability of what that means to the city, what it means to really Rip City, because Rip City is a thing. I mean, Rip City is more than just a basketball team. Rip City is kind of what is really built the fabric of the city for a long time. And I think that we need to take that seriously. I think that we need to think beyond just renovation of the Moda Center. I think we should be thinking seriously about other real estate opportunities in town, other places where we could upgrade the experience for not just our fans, but also for the community, for players who we're recruiting to town, for even entertainers that are coming to do concerts here and things like that. Like it's a game. We're in competition every day against a lot of other cities around the country, and we've got to make sure that we see it that way.
Yeah, and we only have about a minute left, but I still want to ask this question, which is, what is the economic impact, in terms of how tangible is this? Can the Blazers, or can the Portland area rather, afford to even lose the Blazers? I mean, can this area handle not having an economic hub like the Blazers or the Moda Center redone?
Well, my short answer to that is no.
Yeah.
I think that when you're talking about, if you read economic impact studies, and the Blazers would be worth anything from $600 to $900 million to this community, I think that you have something that basically you can't lose this.
Yeah.
But not only can't lose this, but again, generationally, this is an opportunity for the leaders of our city and our community and of our state right now to make an impact really for generations to come.
Absolutely.
In the same way that happened with the Moda Center and several other things in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, this may be our moment to transform the city.
Yeah, well, and that means that, now is the opportunity for fans, too, to make their voices heard and let leadership know what they want to see. Josh, thanks for your time.